Hi there. Are you frustrated with how long it's taking you to gain success? Or are you kind of frustrated with the current situation that you have now and you're looking to improve that? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about reaping what you sow and how you can apply patience so that you can actually see that come into fruition with today's featured book. Stick around. Welcome to the Booksters Club, where we find daily inspiration from the books you love. Today's featured book is The Legend of the Golden Scrolls by Glenn Bland, and today's inspirational thought comes to us on both page 55 and 56. It says, "You plant seeds in one season to be harvested in another season. In the great universal scheme of things, everything is subject to the order that the Supreme Architect has established. Everything progresses and happens according to its own appointed time and in its own appointed season. Understanding and patience are important attributes you must acquire, or this third principle shall continually be a source of anxiety, frustration, and sometimes depression. It is not nature's way for the harvest to spring forth at the instant that seeds are planted, for it takes time for seeds to root, grow, multiply, and mature. Adequate time for growth and propagation is required in between the time for sowing and the time for reaping. What you do with the time in between affects the yield of the harvest. This precious time must be utilized to nurture the growing crop through floods and droughts, harmful disease, and attacks from destructive insects. You must not succumb to fatigue and weariness during this time. You must preserve. The season of the harvest is the time for reaping. Once the harvest is gathered and the silo is filled to overflowing, there is a reason for much rejoicing and celebration. As it is with seeds planted in a fertile field, so it is also with the challenge of building wealth." So duration is a universal principle that all of us know on a very basic and primitive level. It's not something that's taught in textbooks, but we do understand that when you plant a seed, it's going to take time to grow. And I think that we also understand on a very basic level that anything of value is going to take time. So we're all a little bit weary of the get-rich-quick schemes because it's too good to be true. Why is it that all of us understand that if something is too easy, too fast, too simple, well, then it's probably not of value? I think it's because anybody can do it. And duration is something that requires patience, and patience definitely can thin the herd. So have you ever heard of delayed gratification or the Stanford marshmallow experiment? That's where a child is given a marshmallow, they can eat it now, but if they wait for a certain allotted amount of time, when that person comes back, they can now have 2 marshmallows or 2 treats, whatever it is. And it's very interesting because you can see the kids that are just like doing everything that they can to kind of distract themselves to not eat the 1 treat now so that they can have 2 later. And the experiment was really interesting because they were able to expand it and show that those children that were able to delay gratification, well, they grew up to be a lot more successful. And I believe it's because their relationship with patience is actually the key to success. If we are too quick to either quit or give up, we're not able to see something really take root and show us the full benefits of its potential. Taking that time during that germination process is so important because in the book he talked about not just setting it and forgetting it. You also have to make sure that you're tilling the land, that you're making sure it has optimal nutrition and sunlight and water. It's not something that you just walk away from. It's something that you're constantly giving time, energy, and nurturing it so that whatever it is, it grows to be strong and sturdy. And also it takes patience to not see the results right away. You know, everything's kind of happening underground and it's not something that we get to see right away. And that actually takes a lot of people and it puts them in a state where they want to quit and give up. If that is you right now, if there is something that you've been working on, if there is something that you have been trying to make happen and you don't see any results yet, know that if you have been putting in the time and the effort and the energy, it's underground right now. Just give it a little bit. So in life, there's actually no guarantee that the seed that you sowed is actually going to come to fruition. And that is such a frustrating experience. So unlike the Stanford marshmallow experiment, where they were guaranteed to, if they could wait a certain amount of time, when that person came back, it was a guarantee. In life, not only is there no guarantee on the actual duration of time, but there's no guarantee on whether or not that seed will spring forth. And if you've actually ever planted a seed, it is the most frustrating experience, because you start thinking, like, what did I not do? Did I not give it enough water? Am I giving it too much water? You almost want to pull it up and look and check the roots, but by doing so, you're going to kill it. So you have to wait. And also, that takes experience, right? So you get better at gardening by doing it more and more. And so if you've ever planted something, you start taking note, okay, I maybe didn't give it enough water. This time I'm going to give it more water. Or you do research and you understand that plant needs X, Y, and Z. And so you start to do better. And it's those failed attempts actually that give you the motivation to engage in that kind of information seeking. So then that way you're not wasting your time. But it's never time lost, because you're actually using that as a motivation to get better and better to get it right. So there is at least one guarantee in all of this. If you don't sow that seed, you definitely won't reap the harvest. And that is something that I would love to impress upon all of you, is that you at least have to sow the seed, or you can guarantee that you will not reap its harvest. And starting now is the best thing you can do, even if you mess up, even if this attempt isn't exactly the way you want it to go, because you're starting somewhere, and that is sowing a seed. And so whether it be a financial seed, whether it be a seed of self-success, a seed of happiness, a seed of a better, improved life, whatever that may be, you should start now, because that's the only way that you're going to get better. You're going to see what needs to change, and you're going to make those small little tweaks and improvements. So then that way, one day, you will actually have a wonderful, generous harvest. So when I decided that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I definitely did not feel qualified or ready to do it. I didn't feel like, I still don't feel like, it's anywhere close to where I envision it or want it to be. But I did tell myself that I just had to start, put my foot on the path, is the way that I always put it to myself, and just start, because I knew once I did, I would start to see the things that needed to be improved, needed to be worked on, and eventually those things would get worked out. So if there is something that you are, hoping to plant a seed for, I would love to know about it in the comments. What seed have you secretly sown? You can just share it with me. And I do hope that that seed grows into an amazing harvest and you're able to reap its success. I hope you're able to put into practice all of these ideas of patience, so that you can recognize that that's exactly what it's going to take, patience and hard work, in order to make sure that that comes into fruition. If you had a different take on this part of the book, a different part in that book, or a different book entirely that you think should be featured here on the Booksters Club, I would love to know about it also in the comments. Thank you so much for clicking the like button if you liked it, and subscribe and ring that bell if you are new, because I post new videos just like this every single day. See you tomorrow, Booksters. Are you feeling that? Are you getting are you unhappy with your current situation? Okay. And I hope that helps. No. I mean, I hope it helps, but no. Oh, be looking to change the current situation. Wait. Okay. What? Okay. It's like a get. Where to start? I can do Stanford marshmallow experiment. Stanford marshmallow experiment. Experiment. Okay. So that can start to so that you can start to. Okay. If you've actually ever planted a seed, you know this experience. Okay. You're going to. Okay. I'm so grateful to be. I think that's good.